Hey Sagittarius, this is your reading for the month of August. I'm doing things a bit differently this time. I did start a Patreon channel, so this will be, on this video, it'll be an energy check, past, present, future, look into things, and then a look at your current block, what's blocking you from being at your highest potential right now. And then on the Patreon, the extended reading, it'll be a general action plan based off of this YouTube reading, a love, past, present, future, a look into a past person, and then new person. And if you don't have a new person you're looking at, or you have your eye on, or any kind of energy like that, it can also be the energy that you're attracting right now. Or that you will be attracting. And then love action plan. Again, if you're not looking for any kind of relationship or connection right now, it can just be, how to work on yourself, what to do action plan wise, so that you can start attracting more higher vibrational loving energies in general. So, with that said, this is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest, but if it does resonate, I would suggest to check out the extended reading on Patreon. And it is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, Mars, or Venus. But if you have Sagittarius in your Sun, Moon, or Rising, it is just as beneficial, will totally, it should resonate for you. But I will put a link in the description below where you can check out the rest of your birth chart. That way you can check out other signs readings based off of where those signs are in your birth chart and your placements. So yeah, I'm trying to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I'll put the decks in the description below. And and then on Patreon, it's gonna be, generally I'm kind of right now going around like $5 a month for access to all my extended readings. So but yeah, so let's see, as far as the vision I had for you in my meditation time, it was like walking in water, like wading through, it was like an inch of water kind of, and then feeling like it's not enough to do anything, like it's not enough to make an impact, or it's not enough to really like make a splash, or like feel like you were doing anything substantial. So that was kind of where that was going. As far as, let's see, energy check, what we're working with for you guys. Spirit, God, universe, what message do you have for Sagittarius? What does their energy look like for the month of August? What's their energy? What are they dealing with the month of August, especially in regards to the vision so far? What is Sagittarius dealing with for the month of August? My hand is like hurting right here suddenly. Like, I don't know if maybe somebody, if one of you guys, like one or some, whatever, have like just some pain right here. I mean, I could just be picking up on it because this is important for you, and you're supposed to know to pay attention, or I don't know, it's weird. It's like, and it's like radiating through that hand in general. Right now it's starting to go to fingers a little bit. Let's see. I'm getting the name Ricardo. I don't know. Ricardo, Richard, Ricky, Eric. I don't know if that's for anybody, but if it is, it might be just for you to know to pay attention. So let's see. I believe I'm just gonna pull one right now on this. So kindness. Jeez, my nail just caught on that. Kindness. I feel like a lot of it is also like accepting the kindness from the earth, accepting the kindness that God is trying to give, like Spirit, God, universe is trying to give you, that's like natural, that you might just be like, oh, well, that's just the way it is, or oh, they're just doing this way. It's like some of it is like literally like God is like setting things into motion for you. And some of you guys may have just been like, oh, well, this is just this and this is just this, instead of being like, okay, I'm gonna accept that and I'm gonna get into alignment with that. Also, some of you guys, it's like that same kindness is like there's a lot of other people or other energies, other things that are being supported by it. And it's like, now it's your turn. Like, just because you've seen other people be, you know, loved on and taken care of and all this, like, it's not like you're not allowed to have that. Like, it feels like you've been like, okay, no, I'm supposed to go on this path. I'm supposed to go. I'm just supposed to keep going. And it's like, no, like, you're actually supposed to take this right now. You're supposed to join in with the energies of all the people and all the people or, you know, whatever around you that's been like supported by this. Supported by some of you guys, it might be a situation. I feel like it might be like a situation of something reaching out to you or something, I want to say coming from the woodworks. Like maybe there's a job, like a lumber job or some kind of job or something. And it's like reaching out to you and you just went like, well, no, this is my path. And it's like, well, maybe this is part of that path. You know, it's kind of like a stop and smell the roses, but instead of that, it's literally like take the help that's being given. And see these two trees right here? Like, I feel like some of you guys like feel like in order to continue or in order to succeed on this path, like you have to look like that. You have to look like this tree. You have to come together with another. But it's like part of coming together with another is taking the help that you're being given right now in the first place. Even like the people or the, you know, energies here that are like witnessing this, it's like it's a testament to them of how loving and caring of a universe we have. So it's like it helps others as you accept the love that God is trying to give you and the help and the assistance and the support around you, maybe through other people. As you accept that, it's like a testament for other people that are watching. They're like this one hasn't been accepted it yet. Like they're down there and like, oh wait, okay, what's gonna happen when he takes that? You know, is this really like, is it really sweet? Is it really like no strings attached, like caring? And then like, as you do that, more people start trusting in their path and their journey of being loved on and cared for in the universe. So it's like, I don't know, it's weird. It's like a statement to people. To pull another one. I feel like to pull another one. Vibration, yeah, because you're being called to be put into, not put, but like into this vibration. But it's like, unless you accept this, like it's like she's like standing on this bat. She has wings, so she doesn't need to stand on the bat. But when she's standing on the bat, she allows the bat to like be part of her purpose, be part of her cause. So it blesses the bat too. So it's like some of you guys are getting help, but in getting help, you're like, well, I don't know if I need that. I don't know, like maybe I'm good. But it's like even in allowing others to help you, you start allowing them to be part of this bigger cause that's bigger than all of you, both of you. So it's like, you know, just accepting that help and allowing yourself to stand on that footing, allowing that to speak and change the vibration of everything around you. Yeah, that's super cool. Okay. Actually, I'll put these, it's on the top, okay. Okay, so let's see, Sagittarius. What is the past, present, future for you guys look like? What are you guys dealing with the month of August? What do you guys need to work through, and what have you worked through, and what's coming up for you? And the future part as well. The month of August, what is going on for you? Past, present, future. Spirit, God, Universe, what is going on for Sagittarius? Thank you, God. This is one of my favorite decks. It's interesting, and there's like a lot of ways sometimes to read it in different ways. Like there's different pictures I see and things I see in it, but it's got such a whimsical feel, and like, I don't know, it's a cool deck. Normally I'll just put the deck names in the description below, but for some reason I have a feeling I should say this deck. So it is Tarot of a Moon Garden. Moon Garden. I thought I said like mood or something. I don't read reversals. Present. And future. I see something here. Hold on. I normally won't try to read this way, but I see something first. Okay, so here's the deal. In going through this Tower moment, I mean, normally this is like also a really phallic card, and especially this one is very much so. It's very fleshy. And going through this Tower moment, that can both be fleshy, it can be phallic, but it can also be like a honestly, I want to say a release of energy. And I don't mean that in a phallic way. I mean that in a almost like a creative spirit way. Like a release of energy. And going through this, it's almost like, see this like fire or whatever here. And this is over here too. And it's like, just because it's here doesn't mean it's not here. So it's like, as you release, suddenly your environment starts like permeating with your energy to like recreate and redefine your surroundings. And maybe it might touch on somebody else. Maybe it might like, I don't know, throw someone else like, throw someone's footing off, and not necessarily in a bad way. Those of you that are dealing with a relationship situation, you could be like knocking someone way off course and way off their feet and like sweeping someone off their feet basically. But also like in general, it starts like affecting people, making people feel vulnerable because you have so much power going out and so much of this happening, right? However, I feel like when you do that, you come into your power in here of this. It's almost like this solidness, it gets transferred into this, or transmuted, changed, whatever. And it becomes like this, getting your power, getting this potential when it comes to verbal and mental. Like you start, I feel like you start like, what is it, like walking in your power when it comes to verbal and mental. You start knowing who you are. You start redefining yourself. It's like, here's the energy that it takes to redefine your surroundings and yourself as you allow that to flow through you, as you allow yourself to see it come out of you. But this is the energy that it takes to redefine verbally and mentally, like to where you literally, it's almost like, I don't know, I feel like someone else I said this to, was it Cancer or Virgo or something, maybe, like literally like a manifesto. Like it's like you're literally like, you know what, I'm gonna rewrite my identity. I'm gonna rewrite everything anyone ever said I was, or I was limited to. The sky's the limit. Like I don't need anyone else's limits on me anymore as to who I am. And so this is you like redefining yourself, like literally putting it out into the sky. I mean, like the sky is the limit, like blast off actually again, but with a firefly now. So it's like, and then from there, you get to this place of like the 10 of Wands, where it's like, again, it's like all power though. Power, but it's like, because there's no people or there's no characters in this. It's just, I mean, there's the unicorn there. But it's like, I feel like it becomes like to where you start seeing that there's too much in the way, that you've been carrying too much. And so like it's time to start delegating. But the beauty about this is after you've done this and then this and it comes to here, it literally, you start realizing how many of your Wands is passions and creative pursuits and things like that. But when it's at the 10 of Wands, it's like you've taken on too much. So how many of the things you've taken on, it can be responsibilities, it can be other people's even, that you've taken on, to the point to where it's like covering up your dream. It's covering up that castle. It's covering up your destination. So you're like, oh my gosh, wait, like this isn't right. This isn't what it's like, it gives you that power though to be able to review what you actually have, what you're working with, and what, you know, you've done in your environment, to decide like, okay, I need to change this up. I need to do things differently. So it's actually like, it's really beautiful, but it all starts from here. I mean, that's the way I saw to do that, but I'll do past, present, future. It's just, I really saw that like, okay. So 2 of Staffs, 2 of Wands, basically surveying what you're looking at, surveying the course of actions. I feel like the course, like the different options, you know, you're basically trying to decide like what you're working with, and you're about to like put it out there. Whether it is received or not, that's not the point. The point is you're putting your energy out there, right? I mean, you're about to, right? You are. And then it comes to this place of, okay, well, I've done what I can. I've worked on it. This is like, well, this is what has happened, right? I've done what I can. I've worked on it. So now, like, generally 9 of Pentacles is like, it's like a vacation time. Like some of you guys might have just taken a vacation, literally, but it's a vacation time where it's like the energy of feeling like you're secure enough in the work that you have done. You're secure enough in, I want to say, your stance for you guys, that you feel like if you take a break, everything you worked on, or maybe the stance that you've come to, is not going to come tumbling down. Like it's going to be continuing working. Like you've worked on it, you've built something up enough that it's not gonna fall. However, this bird is like on this, and also this like makes me think of like Taurus. So you guys might have dealt with a Taurus. But it feels like this like stubborn energy of like the bird is on that. So I feel like for some of you guys, this vacation was very limited to somebody else. So it was like, you're like, okay, I need to take this break. I need to take this break and feel like I've done what I can. This is what I've worked on, you know? But then it's like, you're literally like, it's like on a swinging gate, like a gate that can move. So like, if you think about like a bird on it, it's like, you imagine someone opening and closing that gate, and how like, kind of like the bird will like readjust and feel like it's gonna fall off, or feel like maybe it needs to fly away, you know? And it's that kind of energy of like, your vacation has been literally like resting on something that hasn't felt very stable. Like it's been stubborn feeling, yes, in itself, like stubborn not saying all Tauruses are stubborn, but that kind of like solid energy in that, not solid, but solid in themselves. I don't know how to describe, but then it like can go back and forth any way, which way, like, and it just feels so like, it's weird. It's like that break that you've taken, telling yourself, okay, I should be able to take a break now. You really were taking on something that was not a place to be able to take a break. Not because you don't deserve the break, but because you didn't have stable grounds, and not any of your doing, but literally like it seems like with somebody or on somebody, or like counting on somebody, trusting in somebody that kind of did their own thing, whichever way they wanted to go. If they wanted the door to open, they'd do that. If they want this to go this way, they'd do that. But like the only thing that was stable about them was their horns. So it was almost like you were resting on their horns, like you were resting on the, well, I know they're going to be like this, so I need to walk on eggshells so I can rest on the fact that I know they're going to be in a mood and they're going to be like this, so I can rest in that. Like, you know what I mean? Almost like a PTSD mentality of like getting so used to a toxic situation to where after a while you're in a fight or flight response, and that's like your home because that's like all you get there, or that's all you've known. And then, you know, obviously something's got to give, and it's like, okay, well, let's let this explode. Let's let off all this steam that's occurred in all this, whether it's flesh and, you know, sensual, or also like just like creative energy of everything that you've pent up in you, as you've told yourself it was okay to be resting on that. Like there's so much that got pent up that made you feel like it was an injustice without even realizing that it made you feel like it was an injustice. It was like all this energy got pent up just because you were walking on eggshells. So all the energy that you pent up and you hid away in yourself all the time you were walking on eggshells, like that's what's coming out right now. Or not right now, but that's what came out in the Tower card. And that's the thing too, is it's like normally the Tower is a crumbling. This isn't really a crumbling. This is literally an erupting. So it's like it's a squeezing, twisting, and erupting. So it's literally like, no, this isn't going to crumble. This is, and I feel like almost like this Tower is like, for some of you, this Tower is you. Like part of you. Like it's not like the Tower that goes away, and you might feel like, oh, because of you exploding, you're destroying something, and there was a tower that went down, crashed. Maybe you did just have that moment, but some of you guys, literally, it's like you felt like your explosion and your I can't handle this anymore caused the Tower moment. But the thing is you're a natural person. This is all natural. Of course you wouldn't be able to handle that. So I mean, that's what's expected from you, from anybody. So like basically if the Tower was going to crumble based off of that, then it was supposed to crumble in the first place, because it was never meant to, it wasn't, you weren't meant to be housed in that volatile of a situation. So now you're in this 10 of Cups of this connection, and the way 10 of Cups is it's like, I mean, it can be a marriage, it can be a relationship situation, but it's this idea of knowing that in order to keep something going, in order to keep a relationship going, in order to be happy in a relationship, in a marriage, in, you know, whatever, partnership, in a family situation, you know, you have to make yourself happy. You have to tend to yourself. And both people have to tend to themselves. You know, like you can't go to this relationship and expect it to give you everything. You have to give yourself and be loving to yourself and allow yourself not to go in those moments, or not this moment, but this moment again, and allow yourself to like, just love on yourself in that. And in that you pour out into the relationship. And it's just this ongoing, constant balancing act of always remembering that you are a key player even in yourself in the relationship. So you have to take care of you. And I feel like sometimes you're kind of questioning, you're deciding, you're trying to be like, okay, so I take care of me in this relationship and see myself as in this relationship, or I see myself as, you know, I put down my boundaries and I say, you know, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. So some of you guys, this is like what happened in this connection, and you're still in this connection. And it's like, now you're just like, okay, well, this family needs to work, but I need to actually take care of myself in this, whether this works or not. Like, I'm important, but I need to put down boundaries. And then some of you guys, this is a totally different connection. And this is like you seeing the importance of this, but then you're tempted to be like, okay, am I putting down my boundaries right? Like, yes, I want to do this and I want to be loving to myself and loving to everybody, but I also need to put down my boundaries. I need to do this. I need to do that. And it's this idea of understanding that you can emotionally pour in, but then you also are like trying to verbally and mentally be in the same place. Like, you're wanting to feel like where you are emotionally pouring in is like emotionally, intuitively, is on the same page as where you are mentally and verbally, boundaries wise. It's kind of like, almost like, okay, this, like, not saying this is like falling head first. No, head first. I don't know, head over heels. Like, I'm not saying this is head over heels, but cups energy is emotional and intuitive. So it's more vulnerable in that sense, right? And swords is mental and verbal. So it's almost like you're like, okay, well, if I fall head first, head over heels, keep saying head first, maybe head first is what I mean. If I fall head over heels, like, can I make sure that my boundaries that I'm setting as I'm falling head over heels can match? Or if I'm setting my boundaries, is my head over heelsness and like putting my heart on my sleeve and everything, is that matching up with the boundaries I'm setting verbally and mentally for myself and in my realm? Also, I mean, Ace of Swords is a opportunity. So it's like you're trying to also grab onto, I mean, some of you, it's what I just said, and some of you, it's also, you're trying to grab onto this opportunity to have your power in the mental and verbal sense. And you're like, okay, well, do I focus on this? Or do I focus on trying to balance this? And some of you guys, this is this old one. And some of you guys, this is a new connection. And you're like, do I focus on, you know, this part or this part? Like, what's going to make me thrive in this current season? Or make things thrive in this current season? But the star is right there, and I feel like she's like in hope. So this is a heart of hope, like hope in a connection, hope in this. And so literally it's like, okay, do I do this or do I do this? And like wanting this connection or wanting this emotional vulnerability to like clear you, to like wanting that, see that smile, like wanting that partnership of being able to stand and know that you're supported. Yeah. And then what we come to in the future is we got the influence in, you know, passionate and creative. Which I've been getting this card for Sag a lot lately. So I don't know. It may or may not be you. But influence and the passionate and creative. So it's like I feel like, no, you gain your power as you get this power, regardless if you pick this or this, just regardless, when you go through that, you get your power. You realize how much influence you can have. Just like you have this influence in your realms, influence in the passionate and creative. And it's like her eyes can both look closed and open at the same time. So it's like, what do you see it as? It's almost like you create your reality. You start realizing, like, you create your reality. Even like that's a cat, right? But that cat, again, is like, what are you looking at? Like, you create your reality. Everything can just be ink blots for all you care, or for all, I guess I care. I don't know. For all anybody cares. But you start bringing it into existence and being like, no, this is what this is. This is where this is. Because you've learned to set down boundaries and you've learned to create and learned your power in that. And as you do that, you are able to, I mean, normally Page is like a messenger, it can be, of, messenger, like also young energy, of Pentacles is finances, material, the solid, like tangible. And it's like, but I feel like you like set it off. It's like once you realize your power in that, you're able to set off this. So you're able to like bless others and like bless your environment with all this abundance, honestly, like financial, material abundance. But with the heart again, that like you have it to give. And then when you're pouring in, that's when you look and you're like, oh crap, I poured everywhere. So now I can see that I need to stop or like recalibrate and see like I need to figure out like what needs to be given away, but by then you actually realize you have an abundance to be able to give, to be able to delegate, to be able to be like, okay, I'm going to accept this help. So can you help me in this area? Can you help me in this area? Like I'm going to start accepting help because I realize I need help because now I can see that I've put too much on myself. But now it's like in this like really excited and happy and trusting place instead of this, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed and this is horrible. So it's really awesome, you guys. Super excited for you guys, Sagittarius. Theme, 7 of Pentacles. So yeah, 7 of Pentacles is like, it's like looking at the present, looking at the future, looking at the past, the present, and adjusting things accordingly and trying to, you know, dot I's, cross T's to be able to bring things into the future that you want. So it's adjusting, but it's adjusting from a place of understanding your power, understanding what you're capable of, and understanding what's needed in connections and what's needed for yourself. And it's almost like, see this like flower and then the moon right there? It's like the flower, I just see it as like it's grabbed onto the moon. So it's almost like the moon has become its own flower. So it's like part of this whole thing is it's like now this shrub thing grows moons. So it's almost like in doing that, like you start understanding your power and intuition and just trusting yourself. You start realizing that you can trust yourself and you can trust yourself to allow others to help you too. Like it's not, oh, you get help because you need it and you can't do anything yourself. No, you actually start coming into a place to where you understand that you can keep your autonomy and still get help. I feel like I said that to Scorpio too. I mean, Scorpio had a way crazier reading, but if you have Scorpio in your charts and you feel led to check that out, please do. But otherwise, like it may or may not resonate. But yeah, it's like, it's this beautiful, like, oh, that's so cool. Okay, I'm excited for you guys. So let's check out the block. I did things different with you guys this time. I had a feeling to do an oracle deck for the block for you. I don't think I did that with anybody yet, but you guys, I had a feeling to do that. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Oracle deck, what is your current block? Spirit, God, universe, what? Oh, so as far as so when it comes to the whole like what's going on and everything, with the vision, it was, you know, wading through the water and feeling like it's not enough to do anything. And sometimes you have been, because you've been like, okay, well, this is pulling me this way and this person's pulling me this way and this is doing this. And it's like you're still in the phase of getting your power and getting everything to where you can start seeing things for what they are. You can see the little things that you've done for like the miles that you've grown in reality, just because it looks little in comparison to this or in comparison to something else that you want to happen doesn't mean it actually is little. It's just in general, you start having the freedom to start seeing your creations for how big or how little they are. It doesn't matter. Like it came from you and that's a step up and that's exciting. So I don't know how to explain that, but it's like the more you stand in that freedom, the more free you are to create and build bigger things. So yeah, Spirit, God, universe, what message do you have for Sagittarius? What is their block in August? What is their block they're dealing with, keeping them from being at their highest potential? What is their block? What is blocking them? What is blocking Sagittarius? think usually I do this with 3 cards, but it's an oracle deck. So 1, 2, maybe 3. It's 1 to 3. So I'm just gonna do this and we'll see. Okay, 1. Okay, so current block, the child I was meant to be. Yes. Remember, I just said that. I go, what was it? It was like, it's like you can see yourself wading through and be like, well, this isn't what I was wanting to be. Like, I thought it was going to be bigger compared to what you might want as bigger splashes and everything. It might look a little, but that's what's blocking you right now, is that like being, not beating on yourself, but like getting stuck on what you were meant to be, the child you were meant to be. Maybe like the child, even like a parental like connection, even like the child you were meant to be. It's not even saying who I was meant to be, it's saying the child I was meant to be. So literally like being stuck on that you were supposed to have this relationship as a child, or you were supposed to have this temperament or this attitude or this, I said relationship, like this bonding as a child. That is what is keeping you. That's what's blocking you, because that's what's making it to where you're not able to see the little things that you are doing that is like miles and so good and in the right direction for your purpose. It's like, it's almost like looking at this situation and being like, well, I'm standing on them, so I'm not really doing that much work here. Like, I'm getting this help, or I could be doing much better because of this. And it's like, it's that too. It's like the child again. It's like you're so stuck on how you couldn't do this before, maybe in your childhood or something, that right now when God is trying to give it to you now in a different form, maybe not the parental or not what you had before, you've been like, but I couldn't do that before. I couldn't do that before. And it's almost like sometimes you're being blocked, or you're blocking yourself from seeing this, or from feeling free in yourself to receive it, because you're too busy trying to beat up on yourself for having not been able to when you were younger. Whew, that's heavy. Okay. Yeah, we're keeping on going. Calling the storm. Yeah, it's like as you do that, you call the storm. And it's like, and I mean that in a bad way. You call the storm of thoughts, of like getting stuck in yourself. And that's not what you're created for. You have so much potential. It's almost like, see how the moon darkens? It's like it goes from this of like, okay, so here's the deal. You were created to be this child, or the child you were meant to be, you feel like. But the fact that you even have the desire to have been that shows that you have a desire to have this positive energy, this healing energy. I want to say healing just because the growth here. But it's like, but you don't have to have it in that picture. It can be, like I said, now. But then suddenly when you do that, when you get stuck on that, you start covering up this moon. And then suddenly we're lower because you called in the storm, and it darkened your energy. It darkened your aura, and it started closing up doors that were actually open for you. And then you also go into this defensive mode when you do that. If you do that, you go into this defensive mode of anything that's coming at you, you're willing to like fight, because it's not as good as what you expect it would have been had you been the child you were meant to be, had that been your reality. And then black flower fragrance. So it's like, it's this bright moon, but again, it's like in a different way. It's like you like, I don't know. It's weird. It feels like, it's like, there's remorse here. I don't know, like for your guys' reading, I just feel remorse here. It's like you change yourself when you do that. You change yourself into this entity that is still you, but it's like you at your least, but it's like you tell yourself it's your most. You tell yourself you're like strong and everything, but you're only limited to that. You're only limited to that side, not the whole spectrum of who you actually are. See, it's like it goes from this flower to goes to that, and it's like, and then it grows in you. And then it's like, okay, well, that's not what you were supposed, that's not actually like you push, when you do that, you push yourself further away from who you're meant to be right now, you know? And who you have the ability to be right now. And even like this, like, it's like he's a tree, but then like she's got the branches here. I mean, it's like antlers, but no, it's like branches. So it's like you start like, yeah. It's almost like you tell yourself you're going to act like you're going to connect to this energy while you don't receive this, while you hold on to the idea that, oh, you needed to be that child, you should have been that child. And instead you connect to this, you tell yourself you're connecting to this, but you don't. You like become this, and it's like a different version, like a dark version of that tree. It's a limiting version of that tree. It's a tree where like that whole thing's made out of your shadow, and instead of like your shadow like hindering and like closing you from the opportunities that you have. See like how the dark there. Yeah, I mean, even this, like this has like all the wings here, and it's like you have the opportunity to be this when you accept help. But when you're stuck on, why couldn't I do this? Why couldn't I do that? You go to a place of not accepting help and rather seeing it as you were helpless. And you attract that helpless energy when you do that. And that's not what you have. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're going to flourish. You're meant to flourish. You're meant to see beyond all that. Crap, that's really, really, really intense. I'm so glad I listened about using this deck. It was crazy. Okay, so let me know how that resonated for you guys. Let me know in the comments below what did, what didn't, and also, yeah, if it resonated, check out the Patreon for the extended, and also feel free to share this reading as well. I mean, even if you don't know if people are Sagittariuses, like if you feel this might resonate for them and you don't know the rest of their birth chart, just, share it. That helps my channel out and it helps get the message out there. And even if this reading might not be for them, they might check out the readings that are and then get, messages for them. So that would be awesome. And I'm trying to think if so I will see you guys next time, or I'll see you in the extended.